Now, the Labour Party are drawing up plans for a UK-EU defence scheme. Under the new guidelines, a body would be set up to oversee defence ties, including joint operations and acquisition of weapons. But is this a ploy by Labour to get the EU back into Europe via the cat flap? Well, joining us now is former Labour Special Advisor Paul Richards. Paul, welcome to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you. So, David Lammy has been quite clear that he said the first thing he'll do if Labour Party get into power is have talks with Brussels to get them closer in terms of military alignment. Is this the first move of many we can expect to see from the Labour Party? Is this Sir Keir Starmer cozying up to Brussels?
Well, if Labour were to form a government in the next few weeks or months, then they're going to inherit an incredibly volatile world. Today, Putin is having this landslide election, and he'll be there for another 4 or 5 years. There's war in Ukraine, and the world is a really unsafe place. So Labour's going to have to put defence front and centre in a way that we haven't had to do for an awfully long time. I don't think you should see this through the prism of, closer or further away from Brussels or, through the prism of Brexit. It's about securing our safety and our defence by any means necessary. And if that means closer collaboration in Europe, so be it, alongside our collaboration with the Americans, because we have to defend ourselves. And the world is a really, really dangerous place right now.
Yeah, but we already have NATO. We don't need to be cozying up to the European Union. Perhaps a strong Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, could tell Macron to cough up his GDP share to NATO. That's what Donald Trump has been saying. The answer isn't a closer alignment with France. The answer is France pays its way in NATO, surely.
Well, I think those two things are not inconsistent. I think all the countries should be paying up their full whack to NATO and taking their defence seriously, and the alliance has to be strong. But you can do that as well as working closely with the people who are just across the channel. Geographically, this is where our key allies have to be. And places like Estonia are on the front line now, and we need to be close to anyone in that position. I mean, I've known John Healey for about 30 years. He's a man of incredible strength and integrity, and he's not going to play fast and loose with our defence. And so if that means, talking to our European neighbours and having stronger defence alliances with them, then great. You can't let your distaste for Europe to get in the way of Britain's defences, surely, Martin.
OK, Paul, while I have you here, can I ask you to comment on Liz Truss's comments earlier today? She said that the Labour Party filibustered a debate she was trying to have to protect girls in mixed toilets in schools.
Well, I think Liz Truss is a widely discredited backbencher, and I don't think this private member's bill had no hope of being a law anytime soon anyway. I think she was just engaging in culture wars, and it wasn't really a very serious attempt to discuss the issues around trans rights and women's safe spaces and all the things that we do need to talk about in a dispassionate way. And then she wanted to blame the Labour Party for that. Well, I think there's an election in the air, isn't there?
But she also said that privately, many Labour MPs have said to her that they agree with her position, but they don't feel able to voice that in case they are chastised as being transphobic by the Labour Party top brass.
Well, if Labour forms a government, it is going to have to construct a series of laws and regulations that balance these different rights and to make sure that everyone feels safe, whether they're trans or anything else. And, that is just one of the jobs of government, is to hold the ring and make sure every citizen is guaranteed rights in law. But it's not beyond our wit to do that, as long as we do it in a dispassionate and loyally fashion, rather than getting a bit irritated, as Liz Truss was doing today.
OK, thank you very much for joining us. Paul Richards, former Labour Special Advisor. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.